We've had Shin Godzilla, Ultraman, and Kamen Rider in the last 7 years, as well as the Legendary Pictures Monsterverse. And while I'm not trying to be overly negative, I can say that they were all okay. After every one of these movies, I would say it's good, but I wouldn't trust a general audience to get certain things. However, Godzilla Minus One breaks the trend of bigger budget kaiju and tokusatsu movies needing to have an asterisk next to them. Godzilla Minus One isn't a movie I found good because I'm a Godzilla fan or a tokusatsu fan who occasionally talks about Japanese special effects TV and movies on the internet. This is just a good movie for most general audiences, assuming that they're okay with watching subtitles. Godzilla Minus One follows the life of Koichi, a kamikaze pilot who's pretending to have plane troubles on the last day of World War II, not wanting to die for a war that's already lost. This causes great shame and regret. Koichi and his fellow soldiers are attacked at night by a baby-sized Godzilla, leaving Koichi and engineer Tachibana as the only living survivors of the soldiers. Koichi returns home to a decimated post-war Japan, learning that his parents and almost everyone he knows has died in the bombing. Feeling guilty for not living up to his duty as a kamikaze pilot, surviving a baby Godzilla attack, and returning home where his family and community are gone. Koichi begins to carry survivor's guilt, feeling unworthy of his own life. He's complicated when he runs into a young girl, Noriko, who is carrying the orphan child, Akiko. All three are survivors of the war and lean onto each other as a new family. Koichi takes up a dangerous job with the Japanese government decommissioning sea mines in order to support his newfound family, introducing you to a cast of crewmates that help Koichi survive and grow, as everyone survives together to create a new world after the war. Koichi is surrounded by friends and people who love him, but he continues to carry the burden of survivor's guilt that grows until it's the size of Godzilla. This story really resonated with me. You can dive into Godzilla Minus One and look at it as a post-war story or a kaiju movie, or just take it as a character study. It manages to execute all of them really well. If you watch this movie to see Godzilla's destruction, you get some of the best sequences in the 37 movies that make up the totality of the Godzilla franchise. When you finally get a full establishing shot of Godzilla in the city, you hear the iconic 1954 Godzilla theme play. It had enough punch to give me chills. Like Shin Godzilla, I'd say this movie uses the appearance of Godzilla somewhat sparingly, making his screen time matter, and it makes him feel imposing in every scene that he's in. And the narrative does an amazing job of making you feel the loss of the destruction. This isn't just some metropolis that he's destroying. It's a city trying to rebuild from ashes and rubble, and this is all they have. This isn't just Godzilla destroying a skyscraper or a train car. This is the destruction of the hope and the spirit of the survivors who have already gone through hell. At the beginning of Godzilla Minus One, it manages to do something that most Godzilla movies don't accomplish. It makes Godzilla scary. Godzilla always works really well as a stand-in for mass destruction in its many forms. Here, Godzilla's destruction feels more personal. Typically, we only see Godzilla on a macro level. It's destroying cities as a walking nuclear bomb. But when you first see him in this movie, he's smaller. Don't get me wrong, he's still a big imposing lizard, but he's a monster in the night that sneaks up on you. You start to feel the tension and power on a micro level that's typically not present. So when you see a full-size kaiju walking around the city, you feel that sense of ferocity intensified. And Godzilla himself looks fantastic. Slimming down the screen time, I think, allowed the visual artists to really make the VFX land. When there are close-ups of Godzilla's face, you see his bumpy, porous skin and gangly teeth. It leaves an impression. I can be really sensitive when a CGI composition doesn't really feel cohesive, but I never felt taken out of any scene in this movie because of VFX. There's no such thing as a perfect movie for everyone, I know that. And if I felt the need to nitpick, I would say there were a couple moments of transitions and bits of exposition that felt a little bit out of place. But honestly, they're really not even worth talking about. They did make me go, huh, that was weird out loud for a second in the theater. But I was so engrossed with the story and the characters that it left my mind as soon as it entered. To wrap it all up, I think Godzilla Minus One is one of my favorite movies, if not my favorite movie that I've seen this year. We've had an amazing sweep of tokusatsu movies that I've been lucky enough to watch in a theater. And while I love seeing this art form elevated, they've all left me wanting just a little bit more. I think I finally got what I was looking for with this movie. This is a movie that I'm going to encourage my friends and family who don't know what tokusatsu is and barely know what Godzilla is to still go see and give a chance. Again, as long as they can handle subtitles. So if you have a chance to watch it, please do. I'm Heisey, and I hope you keep watching.